Yes, yes, audible, sir.
Okay. So let us search something for the Amazon. So I am searching for churidar in Amazon or jeans in Amazon. I don't know how many variants are there for Amazon. We have amazon.com, .in, .co.uk, .ch. A lot of variants are there. I don't know how many variants are there. So I don't know something. If you don't know something, you can put a star. So Amazon dot star. Amazon dot star. It can be amazon.com, .in, .co, .co.uk, or whatever it may be. So I am searching for genes in all variants of amazon.com or all variants of Amazon. So look at the results. You are searching from India, Google identified it. So Amazon, Google gave the results from the Amazon.in first. So I don't want results from India. I don't want results from India. I want to exclude Amazon.in from the search results. So you can use here minus site colon Amazon.in. So look at the result. Google removed the .in results from that particular website. .com came. I don't want the .com also. Again, you can give site colon amazon.com, not site colon minus site colon amazon.com. So see the results now. Amazon.co.uk appeared. Amazon.co.uk appeared. Am I right? Okay. Amazon.co.uk appeared. Okay. So you can use this operator. That means .com, .co, the site operator, exclude operator, and what you call the force match operator, everything in a single web query. This is a kind of query, uh, web query. Here, in this web query, you are uh, asking for particular information based upon a keyword genes on all variants of Amazon websites. At the same time, you are excluding the results from a particular websites in this category. That is Amazon.in and Amazon.com. You can have any number of exclusion operators in this. So here you are combining two operators, site operator and excluder operator. Okay, so this is possible to focus results on a particular website or a particular group of website. It's possible to exclude your operator also. Exclude your results from a particular website also. You can. It is possible. Then you learned about a lot of search queries, search operators, Boolean operators, site operator. Then you can have another interesting operator, that is file type operator. If you are looking for some information on uh, again this spiders in Kerala, so I will put it in quotes and use this file type operator. I want PowerPoint presentation, PPT, on spiders in Kerala. Look at the result here. I have only one result. One PowerPoint presentation. This is a PowerPoint presentation. ICM Asia by Dr. K. Karthikeyan on spiders in Kerala. If you remove the quotes force operator from the search query, you will get more result. Focus, right? Exact focus on that particular thing. You can have any kind of, you can remove this force match operator now, and you will get more results. Spiders in Kerala. Only one results again. Nobody is there made a PowerPoint presentation on spiders in Kerala. This is a PowerPoint presentation. You can download it from here. So this kind of file type operator works for almost all kind of popular files. It works for DOC. You can work use DOC, that is doc. Yeah, 208 results are there. You can work for docx again. 152 results are there. You can work for search for common type RTF. Okay, 6 results are there. You can look for PDF types. Lot of results are there. 31,000 results are there. You can look for that is XLS. 73 results are there. You can type for any kind of what you call common file formats, and even KML will work on this. KML. What is KML? Can you say what it is? KML. 5 results are there on spiders of Kerala in Kerala for KML. So what is KML? This is KML file. KML. Can you say what is KML is? It's a very interesting thing that result related to research, academic research. Anybody? Any guess? Pranav. Pranav is going to tell something. No idea. Keyhole. Yes, keyhole. Very good. Keyhole markup language. Okay, very good. So what is keyhole markup language? It's actually a GIS information, a GIS file. That is geography.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Can you explain once again, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So this file type operator works for almost all popular files, popular file formats. This file type operator works for PowerPoint presentations. It works for document files like doc, docx, ODT, RTF, all these things. And it works for PDF files. It works for Excel files, XLS. It works for text files, and it also works for KML file. What is KML? KML is a popular file format or GIS file format, that is Geographical Information System, KML. The full form of this KML is Keyhole Markup Language. So what is Keyhole Markup Language? A Keyhole Markup Language file contains information on locations, geographical locations. So you can have a KML file on spiders in Kerala to show where these spiders are seen, a particular family of spiders are seen. Maybe limited to a particular geographical location. If you want to say about this particular geographical location where this kind of species is seen, you can use this KML file. You can use this KML. You can open this KML file in Google Earth and Google Maps. If you got your login to your Gmail or Google account and type on this, what you call, click on this 9 point boxes, then you will see a lot of resources provided by the Google. You can go to the Google Drive. In the Google Drive, you can click on the new button and click for more resources. You will find, normally you will find what is resources like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, all these things. And you can also see a button called the Google More. And if you click on More button, you will see another button called Google My Maps. MyMaps give you an opportunity to create maps, geographical information maps, having geographical information. You can map, use a map to provide location information about the rainforest in Kerala. You can give a map to give information about the institutions, different institutions, universities in Kerala. Or you can have a map of India to give information about the where the most rainfall is happening in different states, most places where the most rainfall is happening. So map geographical or the location information is essential in research, and simply you can use these kind of files, use these kind of techniques to create maps by your own. In the academic research, Google is giving us such opportunity. Not only Google, all other platforms are giving. Bing is giving, Yandex is giving, all these people are giving, and you can see a lot of other map GIS resources also, like Mapbox is, OpenStreetMap is there, Mapbox is there. Then lot of resourceful map servers are available freely for you, especially for the academic research. So the KML is keyhole markup language, where you can open it in Google, either in Google My Maps or Google Maps and Google Earth. Google is a beautiful resource for you, especially on the geographical information. Google Earth Pro is there. You can download and use it. You can even create videos from Google Earth to show something related to your location. So KML will also work with the the file type operator. You can search by file type. The KML, you can see a lot of KML files here on the spiders in Kerala. Around five results are there. Maybe showing this information about the location where the spiders are seen. You can download this KML file from this link, and you can open it in your Google My Maps. You can upload it to the Google My Maps to view this location in real time in the Google Map. Or you can open it in the Google Earth Pro to see the exact locations of where the spiders are seen. So this is file type operator. So a lot of operators. I already told you about a lot of operators. Then we need to limit your content on operators now, because it's very difficult to, as I told earlier, very difficult to transact in the entire content and talk about the entire operators. So we will switch to some interesting other things shown by the use of this search engine. Now, then we will switch to other resources also. So I am again going to the search engine window. So you learned the basic things about how to write a web query or a search query. You can use these queries in almost all search engines like Google, Yandex. Yandex is a Russian search engine. You can go to yandex.com, Yandex, yandex.com, or you can go to bing.com, Bing, and you can go to Baidu.com. It's a Chinese search engine, Baidu, Baidu.com. So most of this information are location relevant also, because if you're looking for the East European information, it is better to depend upon Yandex than depending on Google, because the Yandex will have more information on that location, on that part of the world. So if you are looking for some information related to the European, East European region, then Yandex will be your best solution. And if you're looking for more information about the US region, Google will surely provide you a lot of information. So you can search, you can select the search engines accordingly. A lot of search engines are, specific search engines are also there. So I will introduce some other uses of the search engine window now. You can use your search engine window as a calculator. For example, you can give 5 plus 4. So what is the result? So 5 plus 4 equal 9. And then what happened? Google gave you a calculator, a complete calculator, where you can do any number of calculations. Evoked actually a calculator in the screen, a real-time calculator on the screen, where you can do any number of calculations. You can clear this calculation and you can do any number of calculations. Then you can have 0.256, the value of log, log unit to first type log, clear all. Log, then value 0.256, you will get the logarithmic value. Sorry, actually I am doing it wrong. Let me clear it first. This log 0.256. Okay, enter. This is the logarithmic value for 0.2, is it? We can have the values of trigonometric values. We can have sin 30, value of sin 30. We can have of all trigonometric values, exponential values. We can have root. We can have the complete scientific calculator the Google is providing. Just by typing the 5 plus 4 anything value, it is providing an arithmetic and scientific calculator that is very useful for you, especially on doing research. At the same time, it is providing and clearing all this by just clicking the Google window, Google icon, not Google logo, and just use it as a unit converter. 45 degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. So it's evoked a unit converter here. It's providing the temperature. You can convert it from Celsius. A lot of units are there, Fahrenheit and Kelvin, to again Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Kelvin. You can change it to Kelvin here. You will get the value in Kelvin. In Fahrenheit here, again for Celsius in Fahrenheit. And if you go for Celsius to Celsius, then Fahrenheit to Celsius, then it will 7.2. It will change automatically, Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, and the formula is 45 degrees centigrade into 9.5 plus 32 will give you the what you call conversion rate in Fahrenheit for temperature. And you can convert all these values. You can have area, data transfer rate, digital storage, energy, frequency, fuel economy, okay, length, mass, plane angle, pressure, speed, temperature, time, volume. All these kind of conversions are possible in just a Google window. So you can use it as a unit converter. You can use it as a calculator. You can use it as a Google converter. You can use it as a money converter also. You can just what you call. You can use type 456 US dollar in INR or 2 INR. Yeah. 456 US dollars is 33,984.68 paise. And you see, you can convert by this time, updated by this time, and you can convert to any money format to any other money format here. and you will get the real-time value. Look at this thing. This is 1 month value is given. You can have a 1 year value of the value of dollar against Indian rupees, value of rupees against US dollar. You can have a 1 day thing. You can have a 5-day thing. You can have a one month thing. You can have 1 year thing. You can have 5-year thing, and you can have the maximum value of Indian rupees against US dollar here. On which time? Okay, 75 here, 75.50 here. Okay, 61. Okay, and this is happened in May 76. That is on June 19, 2020. Okay, so a lot of information is here, and this data is provided by this Morningstar for currency and what you call thing. So this is possible to convert any money into any other money format in the real time. So you can use it as a currency converter. You can use this window as a geographical, not geometrical calculator, not geographical, geometrical calculator. So type y equals x square. Yeah, this is y equals x square. It's a parabola. So Google is showing a graph for you. You're showing a graph for you. You can have values here. You can keep your mouse on this track. You can find the x and y values for each point in the graph. Okay, you can change it. You can change the zoom mode. You can increase the zoom mode. You can change the values. You can change the values here, and you can combine one more graph with this. Okay, so just by typing y equals x square, the Google is showing what you call a lot of information on the geography of this thing. I will show you something very interesting. You can have interesting queries in this. I will find a formula for you. 1 second. I will paste one for my copy and paste because it's very difficult to type it now for you, for me. Yeah. Pasted the formula and created the graph for sine 5.5 into x into cos 5 into y plus x into x plus 1. This is a graph for this thing. You can rotate this thing and you can change the values here and see you can see the changes in the value, and you can play like this. So you can keep experimenting on different kinds of what you call graphs using this graphing calculator or the geometrical calculator, which is available with the search engine window. Do you find it useful? Nobody is answering. Hello?
Yes, sir, it's useful.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it is useful.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I have a little bit, I have one query that I have posted in comment section. So whenever it's convenient to you, please resolve that. It's important for me.
1 second, I will see this comment now. Chat box. You posted a question here.
Yes, sir.
I'm searching
I thought you were explaining something else, so it would not good to interrupt you right now. That's why I couldn't ask.
Okay. I have a query, so whenever is convenient to you, please solve it. I need to study syllabus of one subject in USA, but whenever I search, I find results related to India only. So what to do if I want to limit my search of USA? You can limit your search on USA. you can see a small what do you call icon or a small button just below your what do you call this search engine. Otherwise, you can go to Google and
Okay.
you can go to settings and you can go to advanced searches. Okay,
Okay.
and here you can limit your searches because user rights, file type, safe search, item search, site search, site domain, language any, region. Here you can
Okay.
select
Okay.
United States.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it. Got it, sir. Got it.
automatically it will go to what you call .com results.
Otherwise, the issue which I was having is like I typed the different university, then I'll search the subject they are offering, and then by university, I have to go, and it will become too much tedious
Yeah, yeah,
task for me. So by this, it would be. I'll try and I'll respond to you, right? What I'm getting. So thanks for
yeah.
this.
You can go to the advanced search mode and
Okay.
uh, change your settings accordingly. Then
Okay.
it will help you in concentrating on your search on a particular geographical location.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for this.
Okay, thank you. Then these are the very interesting things, and Google Window is a good at visual what you call things also. For example, I will show a very interesting thing now. Funny things. Do a barrel roll. So what is happening? So this is barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. So you can ask Google to do a barrel roll. The barrel roll will look like this. Okay. So these are very funny things. So this is a kind of visual treatment for you. So search for ASCII, we will find the meaning of ASCII in the window itself. Are you capable of identifying this? Are you seeing any ASCII in the window?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it is slightly tilted.
Yes, it is slightly tilted. Slightly tilted. That's very interesting to see. So let me switch to another topic now. Then lot of other search things are there. I can switch to the image search now. That is very interesting. Image. So I can go to images and I am searching for an image of Virat Kohli. Getting a lot of images, and from the you can see a top banner there where Google is categorizing the image of Virat Kohli to a popular topics. From this you will get a lot of information because people are more interested in getting images of Virat Kohli with his wife Anushka, and people are more interested in his picture related to his hairstyle, and people are more tending to get the Virat Kohli's picture as a wallpaper. Okay, and interestingly, people are interested to get more pictures of Virat Kohli with his beard. So this page is giving a lot of information to you. What is the tendency or based on this keyword on this image? Okay, and you can see a lot of images of Virat Kohli here, and look at the tools window here, a tools button here, a tool button here. Click on the tool button, you will get a small menu here. You can sort image to any size, large, medium. You can sort to color. You can have red Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli in red. You can see Virat Kohli in blue. Okay. You can Virat Kohli in pink color, in yellow color. Okay. If it is available, it will show you Virat Kohli in different colors. In green color. Okay. And you can clear it now here on the clear button. By checking the clear button, you can clear that thing. Again, go to tools. Then you can sort it out by any type, clip art, fine line drawing, GIF. Then you can sort it by time it is appeared in the internet. You can sort it by the what you call this usage rights from this. These are the facilities available for this thing. You can go out for the collections also, and you can go to the save search also. And in the Google window, advanced search window, there is another opportunity in the advanced search. Go to Google, go to advanced search. Here, look at the advanced search features and find pages with these words, exact words, any of these words, none of these words. You can, without using the operator, you can give all these things. File type search you can do here, save search you can do here, usage right you can do here. And for the Google Images, go to Google Images. And here setting, advanced search. Then you can see the lot of here facility here. You can narrow down search by any size, any aspect ratio, any color, any type, then file type. In the type, any type, you can select face. And you can search for Virat Kohli here. So what is happening? What is happening? You're getting the face photographs of Virat Kohli, old face photographs, sorted out. This is very useful feature when finding misinformation. Because nowadays deepfakes are very common. Using the AI and ML technologies, it is very easy for everyone to create deepfakes. That means you are able to create a photo of a person who doesn't really exist. You can cheat somebody by sending a photo of a handsome person to somebody. Do you know this person? It's possible to create a new person, a photograph of a new person who really doesn't exist in the world, the globe, using this AI, ML technologies, artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. It is possible to create a deepfake. You can even change the language that a person is speaking. You can create a video of Dr. AB, and it is possible to create a video of AB speaking French. In his voice alone, in his voice, in his same voice, it is possible. So now we are living in the deep fakes. So that is an interesting information about deep fakes. So this is the basic things about the what you call image searches. And a very useful thing about the image searches is reverse image search, that is search by image. So again, we are going to for a Virat Kohli's photograph. I'm downloading a photo of Virat Kohli. Here, Virat Kohli is there in Wikipedia. I'm downloading this photo. I'm saving it is in my desktop. Saving it in my desktop as something XYZ. I'm giving a name as XYZ. And going back to the images search box, we can see a little camera icon here, search by image. Just click on this and you can see the page, paste image URL and upload an image thing. Upload an image, choose file, type on XYZ. So I'm selecting this thing, XYZ. So see the results here. See the results here. So the Google found this image and Google identified the person in the image as possible related search is Virat Kohli. Automatically identified here. The system search engine recognizes the person using the visual searching techniques. So you can search by image. You can search by image. It is possible. So this kind of operation, we call it as reverse image search. It is very basic thing in debugging misinformation. If you look at the page, bottom of the page, you can see a lot of related visually similar images of Virat Kohli. And you can sort it out from the date order, something order. So this is all these are possible. So visual search is very common in now. You can use applications in your mobile phone to do this same thing, especially for the academic search. If you want to know more about a person, if you want to know more about a plant, if you want to know more about a monument, everything, you can use an application available in the Android phones that is Google Lens. And using the Google Lens, you can search visually. Visually search thing. You can just switch on the Google Lens and hold your camera, put your camera on, focus your camera on a particular topic that you want to search, take a photograph, and Google Lens will show you the results for the visual search on this. So the visual kind of search is available because systems are capable of identifying things visually. There's an interesting application available for in the Google Play Store, which is an AI-based application. It actually is a recipe app where there's an interesting facility is there. Then in the morning, if you want to search for some recipe for the available vegetables, then just open your refrigerator, open your app and focus your camera to the inside of the refrigerator, and this app will recognize the different kind of vegetables and things available in the refrigerator, and it will provide you a recipe suitable for you with the available vegetables. So the system is capable of identifying things visually. So that is possible now. So whatever it may be. So visual search is possible, voice search is possible, and visual search is possible. And I'm limiting that thing now, and I will show you something. Even you can limit your search on a. Just you learned about limiting your search on a particular topic or a particular website, limiting your search on a particular geographical region, limiting your search on a particular keyword. Okay, you can also limit your search on a particular portion of the image. It is possible. Particular portion of an image. For example, this is available in Bing. I will show you how to do that. So I am sharing another window. This is Bing. You can go to Bing Images, search for a lot of photographs here. Okay, you can search from here also. So you can search for some wildlife here. Okay, take this one. Here, Look at this image. Okay. Here you can see a button called visual search. Are you able to see visual search? Okay. Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You click on this visual search and drag a portion of this image. You can concentrate your search on that particular thing. The results will vary. Okay. You can find similar images. Very useful thing. So you can limit your search on a particular visual search on a particular portion of an image. It's working. Okay. You can find similar things from this. See, things are changing here. So this is visual search. So this facility is available in a lot of applications, which will be very useful to you. So I am again switching to my older window. Then now I am going to talk about a new thing, very useful for you in academic search. That is knowledge engines. I will show you how to work on knowledge engines. So what are knowledge engines? So I am going back to the Google original window. I am searching for a keyword India. See the results. India. See the results. A lot of information about India is there. India on Wikipedia. Here Google is showing a small thing here. Arranged information here. Generally we call it as knowledge graph. This portion we call it as knowledge graph. India. Google is collecting a lot of information about India and arranging in a specific box called a knowledge graph in a particular order, giving information about the capital of India, dialing code, president, population, prime minister, plan a trip to India, things to do in India, app developer, geography, literacy rate, also a lot of information. Google is collecting this information from various sources and arranging in a structured manner and providing you in a specific area of your search results page as a knowledge graph. This we call knowledge graph. This knowledge graph is available for almost all popular topics. You can search for Deepika Padukone, you will get a knowledge graph of Deepika Padukone. You can search for Virat Kohli or a person or a monument. You can search for Taj Mahal to have this person. Knowledge graph. Then I am doing this same search on some other thing. Same search on some other thing. Wait for some minute. I will take that window. So you already noted down the results drawn by Google for the search keyword India. So I am using some other thing, wolframalpha.com, and searching for India here. See the results here. Results here. India, full name Republic of India, full native name Bharatiya Ganarajya, internet code .in. This is a flag of the nation. This is the location in the world. This is the neighboring countries. This is the total area, land area, continent, bordering countries and regions, population density, population growth, life expectancy, median age, languages, ethnic mix, religions, literacy rate, capital, major cities, currency, GDP, a lot of information about the country India provided in a very structured manner, arranged manner, well structured manner. This kind of things, we call it as knowledge engines, which are very useful in education. Do you find this knowledge engines useful in education? Nobody is answering. Everybody is tired, I think.
No, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
very helpful.
It is very helpful.
Yeah. So, knowledge engines. Yeah. Tell Dr. Sarmala.
So once more, can you repeat that, sir? Because some of them are also asked.
Yeah. Can you repeat one more? Your voice is like it's very
Knowledge
noisy.
search and so knowledge search and this visual presentation. That link, where do you have, sir? When you open the picture.
Yeah. Okay.
Visual search.
Yeah. You find it useful?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Then knowledge engine. You are actually seeing the knowledge engine called Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha is a knowledge engine. It is working for a lot of subject areas, topics. You can go to it's a computational intelligence. You can have step-by-step solutions, unit and measures, people, personal health, elementary math, physics, arts and media, personal algebra, chemistry, dates and time surprises, plotting graphs, engineering, lot of areas. They are providing information in structured manner. And you can go for simple solutions also. You can buy 3 by 4 plus 5 by 6. Yeah. 3 by 4 plus 5 by 6, the information is given. This is 3 by 4 plus 5 by 6. It is 19 by 12. This is a decimal expression. This is a position in the number line. Okay. It's a repeating decimal. This is a mixed fraction. And this is a visually how this is happening. Okay. Then it is a Egyptian fraction expansion. A lot of information about this very small fractional arithmetic in the structured manner. But this is not completely free. To a certain extent, you can use it as free. But if you want to get a step-by-step solution for this, Wolfram Alpha will ask for money because paid subscription is there. So it is providing now, but we can go pro now to get the complete solution. So knowledge engines are very useful in getting a lot of information. For example, you can go for an information about fructose. Searching for chemistry. Look at this here. Fructose, formula, name, IUPAC name, graph, 3D structure of the molecule, molar mass, phase, melting point, boiling point, density, predicted log P, hydrophobicity, predicted logs, approval status, density, vapor pressure, refractive index, lot of things. CAS number. Okay. So you can have a lot of information about the chemical properties of this element. And the same thing, if you look the same thing in what you call Google. So I am typing the keyword here, fructose. This is the result. Which one is useful? This one or this one or this one? Which one is more useful as a teacher or as an educator? Which one is you find more useful? Brinda is going to tell something. Which one is more useful? Google or this, for this particular purpose? Google or what you call this knowledge engine, Wolfram Alpha. This is available as an application.
Obviously, sir, knowledge engine.
more useful are knowledge engine for particular type of searches. Yeah, especially related to some topics. It may be an engineering or a humanities or physics, chemistry, mathematics, everything, whatever it may be. So such knowledge engines exist. I can give you information about another knowledge engine. I can show you one more knowledge engine also. This is another knowledge engine, Microsoft Academic. This much publications, this much authors, this much topics, this much conferences, this much journals, a lot of information. Just like Google Scholar. Google Scholar is another kind of knowledge engine, where you can find a lot of published papers, research papers, academic information, everything. So research more and search less. So Microsoft Academic is another thing. All varies in their properties and features. So such different kinds of knowledge engines also exist, which will help you to find e-learning content easily or teaching content easily from the internet. Okay. Okay. And any questions? Any questions on this? You can post questions in the chat box also. Nobody is asking questions. Okay.
Sir, one question I'm having. Sir, this is AB, and one question I'm having. Now, it's related to there are like Scopus and all those things. All these Scopus and such type of sites, are they knowledge engines? Scopus.com.
One second, can you repeat again the question? There, some echo is there.
Yeah. The sites like Scopus.com, etc., which are specifically meant for like Google, not Google. I'm talking Science Direct and such type of sites. Are they having a knowledge engine, this type of knowledge engine type of extensions available in that?
No. This is actually, that is something different from knowledge engine. But knowledge engines are actually really search engines again, but they are concentrating on a particular topic only and providing detailed information about the structured manner, very well structured manner.
Okay.
And you can depend upon a lot of other possibilities. If you are doing research on thing, for example, if you are doing research on kind of data, if you are using a lot of data, and for example, if you are studying about the rainfalls in different areas of the country, regions of the country, and if you are studying about the certain geographical properties of a certain parts of the country, weather of the certain parts of the country, you need a lot of data. If you're doing a study on mass transportation that exists on different parts of the country, a lot of data is available. How will you find this data? This data, or this open data, is available on different portals. The government of India is giving the open data. That is data. You can visit data.gov.in for the open data provided by the government of India. But the most useful thing where you can explore for data, for study, that are communities. Internet communities discussing and dealing with certain topic areas. That kind of communities will be very useful in exchanging and gathering information. For example, if you want to study, and if you are searching for something about the mass transportation systems in different cities in India, you need to collect information about the different kind of mass transportation systems available in the Indian cities. So you want to collect data from various regions and compare this data and to have a report on the mass transporter system available in the country. Then you need a lot of data. How will you find this data? This kind of community will help you in finding this data. I can give you an example. You can go to datameet.org, DATAMEET.org, and you can join this community by putting your email address there, by subscribing their email streams there. You will see a beautiful kind of what you call academic discussions going on inside this community based on the data. If somebody wants data, if I want some data on COVID death in Telangana, I can request in the community. Anybody knows some data about the COVID that's actual COVID that's happening in Telangana? Somebody working on this will share this data with me in that community. That is extremely useful in academic research. A lot of such communities exist in the globe. A lot of such sources exist in the globe. You need to find these sources. You need to talk with these sources. You need to find these communities and explore the possibilities, especially the economy. Because this is, as I said earlier, this is very difficult to teach about all these resources available in the internet in a single day. A lot of topics need to be discussed in again. So I actually moved only to 1 or 2 slides. Then the remaining 70 slides are there. I will show you my presentation now. You will realize the fact. Okay, whatever it may be. So communities are very useful. I fear that it is not possible. That I thought that I answered the question of Dr. A.B. David. Am I right? Are you
yes, sir. It's really clear. Maybe you can share 1 or 2 things, like communities and all. Can you find out? Can you point out, or do you remember any community related with engineering or scientific that particular area? Because this data is related a general sort of thing. Something which is more what is that called, more specific.
Yeah,
how will you be able to find those communities which are more specific?
Yeah, okay, sure. I will share the details. And VC Tilak Rajkumar is showing it. Scientific calculator available in Google, sir. Yes, it's available. You just search for Science 30, you will get it. Yeah, you just search for some. Yeah, it is available. Okay. Then,
sir, good evening, sir. So
Yeah.
this is Tilak. Yeah. So I have one more doubt, sir. So I'm asking, is scientific calculators available in Google? So
Yeah.
usually, so I'm a maths teacher. So
Yeah.
we are teaching numerical methods for engineering students.
Yeah.
So for that, we usually use Casio calculator, actually. That is FX991 MS calculator.
Yeah.
So I'm asking whether it is available in Google or not, sir. Because I
Yeah.
searched it, but I couldn't find it, sir. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. This is for this particular purpose. You can use the Wolfram Alpha.
Okay, sir.
That particular Wolfram Alpha, you can select that particular domain also. But at the same time, some interesting apps are available, like Photomath, Microsoft Math. All these are available in the Play Store, Android Play Store, where if you want to find a solution of a particular problem, you can just scan it from using your camera. That app will provide the step-by-step solution for you, ready.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So such mathematical applications are there. A lot of applications are available, which will provide you to guide you to the right thing. Okay, so you can download these applications, simple applications from Play Store, and you can experiment with this. Even you can write the equations there in the using your fingers in the mobile phone. different type of input methods are there. And the Google Translator app is also very useful, where you can translate it instantly. That means you can download and keep this application in your Google Translator application in your mobile phone. And when you visit another place, if you are visiting Karnataka and you are seeing a board in Kannada, just open this application and you will see a camera icon on the top of this application. Tap on this camera icon and focus your phone, this camera, on that particular board in Kannada. Real time, the app will translate that Kannada board to the language of your interest, maybe in Hindi or in Malayalam or in English, whatever it may be. It will real time, it will translate it for you. So it's a very useful application where you can translate from any language to any language. Even you can identify the language using that camera, which language it is. So such applications, learning applications are available. A lot of learning applications are available. Even if you want to teach your students or a lot of experiments in physics, if you want to teach your students using the mobile phone, you can, using your Android phone, you can conduct hundreds of experiments using an application. You can use it as a sonometer, you can use it as an altimeter, you can use it as a measurement tool, you can use it as a different type of tools where you can conduct real-time experiments with your phone. There is an application called, I can give you the name, developed by a university in US. It's a very interesting application, Phyphox. You can go to phyphox.org. phyphox.org. I can switch to that window. This is phyphox.org. And I'm just loading that window. Yeah. Your smartphone is a mobile app. Yeah. Physical phone experiments. Custom experiments. There's an application is available. You can have hundreds of experiments using your a list of experiments is given here. You can use all these resources to teach your students. And you can also search for OpenCourseware in the Google to find the ready-made course material also, OpenCourseware. A lot of features, free fall, speed of an elevator, yeah, experiment list, lot of experiments lists are here. Lot of experiments are available here. And you can use this application and then by simply going to Google, you can search for OpenCourseware. Even for MIT, you can search. Not OpenCourseware, MIT. You can go to the OpenCourseware link in MIT. It's opening. You can find a lot of courses for educators on a different topic in a different department. A lot of information is available. It's only not only for MIT, but also for different universities. A lot of information and study materials are available, which you can utilize in a better way to teach students. So now let us switch to maps now. How to extract information, use maps, and how to search in maps for information. At any teachers teaching location information, teaching related to location here or here, then if nobody is here, then I can avoid that topic. Anybody is interested in?
I think it is geography related. Is it geography related, sir?
No, anything who is interested location, not geography related. Anybody who is interested in location and to find information on a particular location and how to use maps for that.
Okay, sir, can you please add that also? Just go over that.
Otherwise I can skip
People who are
it.
interested.
I can skip that thing and go to some other topic. Yeah, it depends upon your interest.
Maybe we can just touch on that.
So one second, I will switch to my what you call
Okay,
my presentation now. Just give me 1 second. Just to stop my presentation now, and I will stop presenting and move to a window. I'm going back to my initial presentation. Yeah, to begin searches, I've already taught something. Logical or wildcards. Tiled operator, I forgot to give you information about the tile operator. Searching title, searching page text, searching URL, site specific, plagiarism, targeting title, site author, date range. I omitted this date range. Date range means you can search for some kind of range. Range means it can be a date range or a price range or whatever it may be. You can search something happening in between a period, or you can search for some information about if you want to search laptops available in Amazon for a particular price range between 30,000 rupees to 40,000 rupees. It is possible. So this is actually date range where I can show you how to do it in your search engine later. So I'm looking for the omitted things. So more search opera cached pages, search by source, weather, time, write to a place, map to a place, search operators, okay, phone book, calculator, currency, social media search. So academic search engine already. You can iSeek Education, Academic Info, Google Scholar, Virtual LRC, then Microsoft Academic Research, Internet Public Library, Wolfram Alpha, Internet Archive, then Yandex, Baidu, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and other search engines. Search code for it's a special search engine for the code. Those working in programming, they can depend upon this particular search engine for code samples. And linguistic, this Ludwig is a linguistic search engine, and Thanks is a search engine for 3D printable models. Just Watch is a search engine to find out what is streaming now. So a lot of different search engines are there. Image utilities are there. Reverse image search resources like TinEye. TinEye is a dedicated reverse image search. TINEYE, tineye.com. You can go to tineye.com and find related searches, image collections, public domains images, people search, lot of things. So it's very difficult to deal all these things. I will now show you. Please note this down now. 1 second. You can just scan this thing, or I will post this link in your chat box. 1 second. So I am requesting you to, what you call this, complete this feedback form, so that I will get some feedback from you about, so that I can modify my Smith Kacha is the yes sir, because we want to explore all contents individually. It's very, as you know, very difficult to deal with all this kind of information. It's a very short span of time. So please fill up this feedback so that I will modify the. I can modify my letter classes according to your feedback, because all these are designed according to the feedback provided by the participants in different workshops. So according to their requirement, I am modifying all these things. So it is very important to me. So please fill that form. Either you can scan that thing now. I will show that page for you now. You can scan this QR code, or otherwise you can visit this what you call this link. It is already posted in the chat box, and just please fill that form. Okay. I will go to the synonym search and operate this query range now. So give me a minute to share my Google window tab. Open courseware. Okay, I'll share this thing. So if you're looking for a particular topic, so earlier I told you about finding related keywords. The synonym technique will help you in find the related keywords easily. For example, and you will also find what is more popular. Which one is more popular in the internet also? Which one is trending in the internet also? For example, if you are searching for what you call inexpensive flight between Kochi and Delhi, and low-cost flight in Kochi and Delhi, so you can type like this, and you using the tilde key, which is on the top left corner of your keyboard. This is tilde key, TILDE, and I'm typing inexpensive flight Kochi and Delhi. Look at the results. This is an advertisement actually. Look at the results here. Okay. So we searched for inexpensive flight. And look at the here. Google is using other words, cheapest. Cheap flights. Okay. So cheap is the most popular word. Actually, it's a synonym for inexpensive. Is another word for inexpensive. Cheap. Cheap is more popular. Delhi airfare. So we are actually using this query technique, the synonym query technique. Cheap flights, domestic flights, low cost airline. Okay. So without giving results for the inexpensive, Google is providing results to related words. That is synonym. So you can use You can put a tiled key before that particular word keyword to find out the synonym for that word, related keyword for that. And that is synonym technique. Then other one is queries, range queries. If you are looking for laptops in Amazon, laptops. Before that, I need to copy one symbol. I can copy symbol. I can copy it from here, somewhere here. So it will be easy for me to type. Okay. So I'm going back. Laptop. Fees 30,000. Site Amazon.in. Look at the results. So you are searching laptops with a price range. You are using the range query. You are looking laptops or a price range in Amazon.in. Okay. So Amazon is providing results with the laptops with 30,000, between 30,000 rupees, 40,000. So it's very easy to find such range. This is a range query. You need to put 2 dots between the 2 values. Your laptop rupees 30,000 ... rupees 40,000 space site column Amazon.in. This technique will work for price. This will work for dates also. Dates, you can do one more thing. You can customize something. For example, I'm searching for something, Covaxin, Corona, COVID vaccine. Searching for COVID vaccine for a particular date range. Okay, don't range is possible. Here you can go for tools. You can go for tools. Anytime you can have a custom range also. You can select from the custom data range for the thing. So that same thing will work here. Otherwise, you can put 2 dots between these 2 values to get the results on a particular range. So this is possible in particular price, particular values, or particular dates. It is possible to filter out things from the internet, search and using the search engine. This is date query or range query technique that you can use to find information. So it is almost 5:15. There's 10 minutes for Q&A now. And I have another program coming.
Okay, sir.
I need to start another program within 1 hour.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. We'll make the QA as short as possible, sir. But still, a few questions are there, it seems. People are asking questions.
Yeah.
I'm having a question before going into the other thing. You told that you're going to make me speak French. How it is possible, sir?
That is possible in deep faking, where I can scan you your entire figure with using a mobile phone.
Okay.
You can create a 3D figure of you.
Okay.
And I can real time shape your mouth changes according to the French language, and I can real time translate your content. If you are speaking Malayalam or English with you, So I can real-time translate it to French, and I can modify your voice into French, and I can modify your even the lip movement in according to the new French thing simultaneously. This is possible with machine language technologies, and at the same time, in the real time, it is, for example, in the media, if somebody is reading a news in Malayalam, in very recent times, it is possible to broadcast the same news in different 12 other Indian languages simultaneously.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Thank you, sir. That answers my question.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. A few questions are there in the message section.
If you are more keen on that, we need to do a separate session on machine learning.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, there are a few points that has been raised by this. One is actually Creative Commons search. Creative Commons search. John sir was asking about that. Can you throw some light on that?
Creative Commons. Creative Commons means Creative Commons is the copyleft or copyright free content available in the internet, and you can visit to the Creative Commons website and you can search for the content there. So a lot of photographs, video clips, documents are available there, but you need to put some credits for that. If you are using a photograph, you are free to use that photograph, but you need to put some credits of the photographer or the creator.
Okay, another question came from Johnson, and he was asking about open education resource.
Open education resource.
Is it open courseware itself?
Yeah, you can go for open courseware. You can search for open courseware. You will find a lot of open courseware resources in different universities, provided by different universities. So you can use it freely for your classes.
Jayasri Ma'am was asking about search engines for HRM, Human Resources Management.
Search engines for?
HRM, Human Resources Management.
I don't know whether a search engine exists for human resource management, but you can, human resource management is a very broad one. But what kind of thing, if you are looking for the how to get efficiency from people and how to manage people and how to, as I said earlier, you can divide into this open question into what you call answerable questions, and you will find information from even from the normal search engines. And if you're looking
anything related to farm, okay, sir. Tell me, sir.
Sorry. If you are looking for teaching resources in human resource management, it is easy.
Easy. Anything related to pharmacy? That was a question from Meha Motiwala.
Yeah, it is also available. It is available. You need not to depend upon the what you call information a dedicated search engine for pharmacy. You need not to depend on a dedicated search engine, but instead of this dedicated search engine, you can go to a lot of directories which is providing internet directories. You can look for internet directories related to pharmacy. You will find information there. If you are looking for training information, it is also available there. If you are looking for drug information, drug directories are there, where you will find information about the lot of the drugs available in various countries and the side effects and all the test results of these. Everything is available, and even you can visit websites like FTC, Federal Drug Controller, or the drug controller websites of various countries to get information on a particular drug. That is possible.
Sir, one madam was asking about that particular image search. So she wanted that, she wanted a little more on that. So image search means a specific image search, how you have done that. That's what she was asking.
Yeah.
Image search.
You want to know more about the reverse image search?
No, sir.
Yes,
visual search, sir. You showed a picture, visual search.
Jayasri madam.
Visual search, sir. You showed an image.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is on visual search. She is asking
Can you show that again, sir? Because I tried and I couldn't make it up. That's why.
Yeah, visual search. Yeah, visual search is actually you can actually using the Bing, you can you can limit a portion of the image that you are searching, and that is possible in using Bing. But visual search is something different. Visual search means you are it is kind of reverse image search, because you are doing search by image, because you are providing an image to the search engine and ask for the answer. If you are using a what you call a mobile phone, it is very easy, because a mobile phone has a particular camera. You can take a photograph of the object you are searching, or the plant you are searching for, or the object you are searching for, or a another anything you are searching for, and you can take a photograph and use these visual search engines like Google Lens to get the results on that particular image or the particular thing. So searching visually means search using videos or images for information. So this is a kind of visual search or reverse image. Reverse image search means you are again giving an information. They are dedicated reverse image search engines like TinEye. I can type the link here, tineye.com. TinEye. Got it? TinEye. It is not visible here. TinEye. 1 second. TinEye.com. Is visible? Yeah, TinEye.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any more questions? If any more questions available?
Yes, sir. It is not sort of a question, but I want some more information about Sunil ji. Sir ji, this session is very much helpful for me, and I was, listening it very alertly. But there are so many things to explore, right? And I think I need time to explore all those things. So can I get some, contact details? So in future, if I'm having any, issues regarding or any doubt, so I can come back to you and discuss with you, if it is possible, if it is okay for you.
It is available with A.B. Davis. You can contact A.B. David. He will provide. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. I can provide it, sir. Please contact me so I can provide the contact details.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll contact you.
You are from which state?
Sir, I am from Gujarat, from Marwad University. I am actually teaching in electrical engineering, assistant professor there. And I am more, I like to explore these things and try to integrate these things in teaching the students, right? So that, they, once they are, because new generation are always inclined towards these kinds of gadgets, and even it can reduce our hassle-full work. So I always use.
I'm actually requesting universities to start a program in what you call searching and finding information before a PhD program, because as a part of this coursework of PhD program, you need to teach students how to get information, how to get right information, because it will reduce their effort actually.
Absolutely,
rightly said, sir.
The question I asked you, you had reduced my efforts in few minutes rather than few days. So it's big help for me.
Yes, sir. Had this, what I felt is this way, that if this session, if I had seen this session sometime back, then it would have reduced my work a lot, because my doctoral work has suffered a lot as far as information is concerned. I feel most of the people over here who have done the doctoral work, who have gone through the doctoral work, would have suffered a lot for getting right information. So this was one of the very meaningful sessions. The keynote session is actually a very meaningful session, and I want to thank very much Sunil sir, Sunil Marsh, we call him, for this highly informative session. And I hope that we would be in a position to collaborate more and work more and help the community as such. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your session and for your time, sir.
You can post your concerns here. Please provide feedback on my Google form, and you can post your concern here in the chat box. So anybody can 5 more minutes to 5:30. Anybody if want to answer, want to ask some question, you can quickly post your questions here. Otherwise, I will leave because I need to start another session on content making using the smartphone for a group of selected people, and people are joining from all over the world. So I need to keep the time.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. If there are any questions, if there are no questions, we will wind up the session.
Yeah, I think no questions are there.
No questions, sir. Sir, thank you once again, sir. So it was a pleasure having you here, and we as a group are really blessed to have you here. And because this was one of the thrust area that has to be understood by all the people. Anyway, we are having all the recordings of this. We'll have to go again and look again, and we will try to work again in whatever you have told. And this particular session was really meaningful, sir. Thank you once again for that, and thank you all for attending this meeting also. Thank you, sir. Sunil, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you all, teachers. Okay.
Yes, sir.